Welcome to Protea Live. My name is Zane Stevens. I'm the founder of Protea Financial. Happy Monday. I am live from Portland, Oregon. I've traveled up here this morning from my hometown in California to attend the Oregon Wine Symposium. The Oregon Wine Symposium is a great local event, gets together all the winemakers from the region. It's a great place to network and learn, and I'm excited to attend tomorrow. The event is the February 13th and 14th. I will only be around for one day though. I will be flying back tomorrow night. I have some other plans on the 14th. As you can see, I'm in my hotel room, and right behind me over here is the convention center, and that is the Willamette Valley River, or the Willamette River to be specific. And I've had a good day. Got up pretty early, 3:50 wake up call this morning. Got myself to the airport, flew in, met my colleague Wiley Warner. Good to see him in person. Wiley's out of Walla Wallas. We only generally get to see each other once a year, other than calls and Zoom calls. But good to spend some time with him. Him and I had a series of meetings today. Some good time with some bankers, a fellow accounting colleague, as well as a CPA firm. Spoke everything about the wine industry and took some opportunities to share who we are at Protea and how we can help their clients, especially in this very difficult situation that they're all dealing with. It's nice to be in Portland. I was looking back at my notes, and the last time I was here was in 2019. 2019 and prior, I was coming up here 2 or 3 times a year. Had made the decision not to come up for this symposium in 2020, and then, as we know, the world changed in that period of time as well. But it's really nice to be back. I've got very lucky with the winter. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, they've had some very cold spats. It looks like it rained yesterday, and it's going to rain after I leave. So I'm missing the cold or rainy weather. But it is a very different cold. It was 34-ish degrees, 33, 34 degrees when I left my home this morning in California. When I arrived here in Oregon, it was 42 degrees. But that 42 degrees was way colder than the 33 in California. It's a different type of cold. It's a wetter, damper cold that my body's not quite used to it. Portland's definitely not the same place I came to in 2019. It looks and feels very different, but as with most major cities, on a Monday in the city, just a little quiet. Same as San Francisco, same as all the big cities around the US. People working hybrid means generally Mondays and Fridays are quiet in those cities, but still had a good day. Very, very productive discussions with people that matter, with people that can help our clients. We've spoken about a lot of this in Protea Weekly, that it's a tough period of time, and people need to manage their cash flows and find ways to be successful in these tough times, especially in areas with clients who want to grow, who are having to sort of make adjustments to who they are and the wine they're making, and making use of lines of credit. And taking some time to sit down and talk to these bankers that could have a big say on how they will be able to operate in the future is really, really important, and a really good use of my time. Very, very productive phone calls, and I'm sure I'll see a lot more bankers tomorrow. Hopefully be able to, maybe even down in the lobby this evening, run into one or two more. But our clients that are wineries are going to need some help. They are going to need lines of credit. This is not unusual for this business, but it does feel like a year where it's going to be needed more than most. Especially for some of those harder times, bottlings, getting through some of the tougher summer months, making sure they get their club releasements out. People are going to have to make some adjustments to how they run their businesses, and a lot of them are going to have to rely on banks for the support, with the remembering that it's going to be more expensive. A lot of people are used to these lines of credit at 2 to 5%. Probably you have to look at 6 to 8% or even more. But the good thing is, if you have a relationship with a bank, it is better than the alternative. Private money is way more expensive. We're talking 10+%. We've seen in the 20s for some people. Not ideal. So if you can make sure that you've got a good banker that understands your business, understands your industry, and that you can have conversations showing them the historical information and the future information, those are important relationships. Spend time, talk to them. The same with CPAs and tax providers. In the last year, I've had lots and lots of conversations with some of my favorite tax providers as well as a lot of new tax providers. As you guys all know, the accounting industry is struggling for people because of the large amount of retirements through COVID. And it's important for me to know who the good tax providers are there and who I can place different clients with. We all have different needs based on your structure and complexity and what you're trying to do. You know, a winery that has land in a building and maybe even building out a new building is a very different need to somebody who has a brand with a single LLC flow through. Those are two very different tax providers I need to talk to. More complicated, more access to various credits, probably need a bigger, and what comes with it, a bigger price tag type CPA that can, support your business, give you the advice you need. But even if you're using, uh, you know, EA or a smaller CPA firm, you still need to be having conversations with those people. Tax planning is part of tax process. Having conversations about what money you can put aside, what money you need to put into taxes, are there any credits that you can take, is there any workaround that can help you save you some tax? All extremely, extremely important. So super productive pre-Oregon Wine Symposium 2024 day. And on top of that, just great to spend time with Wiley. Being able to spend some good quality time with somebody from the team, taking them out, sharing the word of who Protea is, hearing it in my words to another party is always helpful. And I try to take the opportunity to do that with as many of my team members as possible. I am excited for the symposium tomorrow. They're definitely smaller scale, right? Just a couple of weeks ago, we spoke at Unified Wine Symposium, massive, 10,500 people attended that ginormous trade show. Oregon is much, much smaller, which is nice. There'll probably be a bunch of booths, a lot of bankers, a lot of people that can help you guys, my clients, with debt servicing. Definitely access to some CPA firms and other professional service providers. I know for a fact that most of the M&A firms are going to be out there. A lot of you guys are thinking, hey, maybe I can raise capital. Could I potentially sell my business? Could I sell a stake in my business? It's good for me to see those people as well, communicate with them, have conversations with them. It's not just about the banks and the CPAs, it's all the other service providers as well. And I'm excited to walk the trade floor tomorrow, have conversations, talk to the people that can help all of you and make my job easier. Good service providers make what I do for you easier because they understand the information I'm giving to them. The same way I'm trying to give you simple information, giving them the information they need so they can give you the services you need is very, very important to me. A lot of us are good sessions just on the card. It's always, just had the big state of the industry, which is very heavily California focused. It'd be great to hear what, the experts are saying in the Oregon space. I assume there'll be a lot of the similar messages out there that, hey, it's tough. 2023 was a tough year, but this is how we make the adjustment is what I'm hoping we can get out of these sessions. It's important for me to hear about the Pacific Northwest and Oregon in specifically, what happened, how do we go forward? Oregon grain is very different to what it is in California, which is very different from Washington, which is very different from the rest of the country. And you have your own challenges. And already 2024 has started rough. Maybe not as rough as Washington, but it's been cold. And that cold could potentially, who knows? Well, I'm sure I'll find out what your crop and your harvest look like for next year. There is great wine coming out of Oregon, but how do we take advantage of the softer market, these new customers, and potentially customers that are going, hey, it's too expensive for me to go to California. Maybe I'll change my wine trip to the Willamette Valley, or maybe even Southern Oregon. If you haven't thought about Southern Oregon, it's a great place to do business. Well, we've got clients down there. They do fantastic wine. And what's extra special about them, and a lot of the places around Oregon, that's different to California, is a lot of them have their own restaurants inside. Great food, great wine, great experience. So it'd be interesting to see what the experts here in Oregon have to say about what are the opportunities for the Oregon wine industry to take advantage of this new incoming wine consumer? Is there a way that the Oregon winery market can take advantage of the needs of these consumers? They want experiences. They don't want to just drink wine. They want to experience wine. How do you take advantage of that is what I hope to get out of this session. Other than connecting with a lot of great people, there are amazing people doing a lot of great things out here. And a couple of the people I'm really excited to see are a lot of the banking partners, a lot of the tax people, Irvine, Moss Adams, Perkins, all great options up here in the Pacific Northwest. In terms of the banks, I know Silicon Valley Bank will be around, and we'll see who else is out there. I know Ag Credit will be around. They're very, very deeply entrenched in the community, not just from the wine space, but agriculture in general. So I'm sure they'll be around. It'll be interesting to see what sort of presence the new Umpqua Columbia Bank connection has and how they're going to approach the specific Northwest market. This is where they're from. So hopefully we're going to see them putting full support now that they've banded together and worked together. I know Zapponi will probably be around. Metis will probably be around. I'm excited to see all of them. I'm very excited to see my friends from Innovant. It's a fantastic inventory management software for small winery practices out there. We believe in them, and I think it's a great option for your winery as well. So just excited to see what other service providers there are. Hoping to run into a few clients. I know this is a very popular one for winemakers to come through to, so it'll be exciting to see some of our clients. I'll be wearing my cool new swag. It's got a nice big Protea emblem on it. It says Protea Financial. I'll be running around with that tomorrow. Hopefully, trying to make some good connections. Continue to create the relationships in the Pacific Northwest that allow us to help as many wineries as we possibly can in this area. I'm excited for tomorrow. And look at these views. You just can't complain, right? You can't make them up. Beautiful pictures of the Willamette River. Until tomorrow, have a great evening. Be kind. Goodbye.